Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check. We're good to go. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tag Delta, and I will be covering Tier 1 for you today. Looks like I see an Alpine and a Red Bull coming out to the track. We'll see if we can get with those guys quickly. That's got to be Mr. Shep coming out, maybe? We'll see. I need to get the rest of my UI put up here. A little behind the course here, Shep. Anywho, get my volume set down a little bit. There we go. While race cars would certainly be the first thing I'd like to be deafened by, I don't really want to be deafened at all, so we'll go with that. We are at the Circuit of the Americas, which is home to quite a few drivers. I don't remember everybody who hails from the US of A. My voice is deafening. Do you want me to turn it down? Need to be better? We can make this better. Let me turn it down some. Mic level. That should be a little better. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I get excited. It's my home race. A lot of excitement going on. Okay. So, let's see. A few drivers that I know for sure. Shep, Mr. Hex, and Tar Heels, I believe, all hail from the US of A. As well as a few others. Sorry if I missed out. I don't study. Thankfully, Chaos will be able to keep his hearing. Lovely. Alright. Who do we have first out on the track? That's actually a Haas. How fitting. Is that the Haas of... No, not the Haas of Ramsey. It's the Haas of Polani 26. Polani right now is 4th in the Drivers' Championship, so I'm a little unfamiliar with the drivers of Tier 1, so you'll have to forgive me if I don't have all these guys memorized and know where they are in the championship. I do know that GK Base and only Tetcher are running away with the championship with Aston Martin. So, in terms of the constructors anyway, G. Ennis and Polani are actually not too far behind the two Aston Martins, but for now. Oh, Polani also from the United States. Seeing that in our standings here. And Ray, also hailing from the United States. So, lovely to see some guys in their home race. Hopefully they make us proud. In the meantime, we need to find some lap times. Let's see how Polani's doing. We'll check in. Brings it all the way up to 5th gear, drops down to 2nd for that apex. That corner you have to go wider than you think. Now will it be flat through here? We brave? Ooh, a little lift there, a little lift and a tap of the brake. But other than that, screaming through the 16 through 16, 17, 18 complex. And Polani coming across the line with a 134.9. We'll see that shift down a little bit as we go on. Remembering through what I saw in time trials, I think 134 is where we will see most of these guys. That's only Tetcher putting a 134.5. We may see a few 33s dip in, but I would think only just a couple. We're starting to get more times set. Let's hop back with... What's that? Craig? No, I want YouTube X Freak 235. It's going to come through that final corner, kick in the DRS, and go 3rd fastest so far. Preliminary times coming in. The Aston Martin still holding the top, and GK Base, having moved out of the way of another driver, already has a 133.9, so certainly we'll see some drivers in the 33s. I don't know if we'll get a 32, but anything is possible. I believe maybe Ramsey has a 32, and that's Mr. Hex out. Looks like maybe a pit lane exit. Yeah, okay, so not sure. Maybe Mr. Hex had to serve a quali ban. Not entirely sure what the case is there, but Mr. Hex will not set another lap in qualifying. So I'll be curious to see what he can do. Mr. Hex, he is quick. He stormed through Tier 2 last season. There we go. Thanks for the extra support from Chaos there. The McLaren driver of, I'm gonna shorten it to just YT. I like that better. YT is also out of the United States, so. Home race for a few people. He's got the mistletoe on top of his helmet there, just taking notice. Let's see who else we've got out on the track. Getting ready to give us a time. Maybe, see if we can get on board with Rusty. I think Rusty's going to set a lap in anger. Comes across that McLaren, staying wide. Rusty dropped into 5th. It's going to come around the last corner. It's going to be kind of a slow lap from Rusty. Maybe just another warm-up or getting used to the car because we expect a little bit more out of him. See who else we have out. It looks like maybe Monkey Pill and the Hammer are out setting lap times. We'll stay on board with Monkey Pill. He'll be the next to cross the line. Who doesn't already have a time? Actually, he'll be the next to cross the line regardless. He's got a Haas stuffed up behind him, not too far away. Not sure who that is. Likely Ramsey. Yeah, it is Ramsey because Polini's in the pits. And Ramsey dives in as well. So we'll see Monkey Pill come across the line. Set a time of a 1:44. He's coming out of retirement. He's got to shake the rust loose. So no worries. We'll see Monkey Pill higher up the order as we go along. Let's hop on board with Inez, who's invalidated. So we'll hop off. How about... let's see Nico John in that Williams Racing Blue. Taking 6th gear through that corner. It's going to drop to 4th. Running the gears quite long here is Nico, and with a time of a 1:36.1. So pretty widespread across the field. We've got Nico with the 36 and GK with the 33.9. Rusty with the 37, but I think we'll see some improvement on that. I'm not going to call it gospel yet. Let's hop on with Suzuki, who Share Shaft, I didn't do it, but Share Shaft gave him the title of the fastest driver with the highest crash percentage. So we'll see what Suzuki can do, reserving in to Tier 1 today. He's certainly on the pace with these guys, and maybe even faster. We'll just have to keep an eye on him. Don't want to hit him with the commentator's curse, but then again, I did already call out the accidents. If I wanted to give him the commentator's curse, I would say today's his lucky day. That would be the commentator's curse, but we'll keep an eye on him, see how he runs, see how he fares. So he comes down the back straight here at the US, see what speed he can reach. That's 196 miles an hour. Just kissing the 196 mark. I think that's around 300 kph. For those of you on the other side of the pond, let me do a quick check here. 315, so a little higher. So, blistering fast speeds on the back straights here. We'll see Suzuki coming around now. See, will he drop? He drops to 6th for that corner, same as Nico. Keeps it just inside, does not take the IndyCar line. Down to 4th gear, around the inside, and that'll be Suzuki with a 134.007, .077. So, with the fastest 3rd sector of the session so far, Suzuki moves up to the 3rd position. I would expect nothing less. Let's see if we can get on board with, not George Russell, but Ray. In the Ray the Bull. Sorry, I apologize for that. Moving on, let's see what gear Ray takes this corner in. So I prefer 5th gear through that corner, but I've seen a few drivers take it in 6th. So very interesting. Ray is looking quick. Drops it down to 2nd gear, pushing the car through. 135.2 for Ray. 135.3. So everybody's set a lap time, except for Hex, who I feel relatively certain is going to be putting who is serving a quali ban. No, I don't think so, actually. May have just had something come up. Speaking of things coming up. Oh, there's Ray with a little spin. That's fine. I already set the hot lap. Don't need those tires anymore. Don't need the battery. Let's see if we can get with the Alfa Romeo of the Hammer. I actually wanted Rusty, but Rusty's on an outlap as well. We'll catch up with him in just a bit. We'll, in the meantime, watch the Alfa Romeo. Chaos, I'm always nice to you. I don't understand the comment there. I'm always nice. I'm always nice. I'm the nicest driver on the grid, let's be honest. We'll see who else we have out here. Looks like GK Base may be running for another time. So we'll run up and check on him, see how he's doing. Not George. Come on. Behave. There we go. So GK Base, we get on with the first sector. Get into the first sector, and he's purple through the first. We've got a little while before he hits the second sector, so we'll keep an eye on GK. Pulling second gear around that corner. Climbs up. We'll see just how fast GK Base can get going. This is a tough track. You have to make the decision between downforce or top speed, and GK's chosen top speed, it looks like, with a 198 miles an hour through there. And sets the best second sector as well. So GK looking to smash his own lap time here. Let's ride on board for the triple apex. Keeps it in track right there. Does he lift? Oh, he lifts a little. Just a little tentative through there. And drops down to 6th, no, 5th. Keeps it just within the track limits, comes across the line with a 133.6, so beats his own time by about 3/10 of a second. So well done there. Now Rusty's on his lap. Let's catch up with Rusty. Rusty's improved by about a half second already. Make it 6/10. Make it 7/10. So like I said, I didn't think we had seen the best of Rusty yet. Short shifts up on the apex. That's wise. Again, we'd expect nothing less. Rusty, not quite pinning it to full throttle, but very, very precise throttle control. Well done. Drops it into 5th. Coming down the line, takes 3rd, leaves plenty of room on that curb and gets up on the next one. It's a 136.4 for Rusty. So still a little ways to go. Still getting warmed up out here. How much time do we have left in the sector? I won't know until that McLaren gets moving. Looks they're doing their best. It's that GN is about to set a new lap time for us. It's a slow lap. I saw the 05 and got a little too excited there. Let's check out the other Ferrari with Monkey Pill. Monkey Pill running nice and smoothly through that intro into Sector 2. That's always a big struggle for me to get that complex just right. Monkey Pill has no such struggles. Hits second gear in the Ferrari coming around the corner. Short shifts up to 4th, now 5th. Making sure he's getting it moving before he puts the pedal to the metal. We got 3 minutes, 50 seconds remaining in qualifying. So we see most of the drivers in the pits. The guys who are out on track will either come in at the end of this lap or we'll probably have to call it. I don't think there's enough time to scoot around track. That was Monkey setting the best second sector. We'll have to see if that's true. Oh, and that's a little... Oh, he got away with it. It was a little bit of what looked like maybe a track invalidation, but if the game didn't call it, we won't either. Monkey Pill keeping it well and tight through there. Comes through the corner in 5th gear, drops it all the way down to 3rd for the final corner. Gets back on the throttle, leaves plenty of room on that curve, and sets a 134.6. So Monkey Pill moving up into the top 10. Now we'll see, I think is that Nico coming through. Nico's invalidated, so he's going to get into the pits, get fresh tires, get a full load of fuel, and we'll be back out on his way. We've got the McLaren of Craig out here. He's seen a little bit of improvement over his lap time. Who else do we have? Let's give the AlphaTauri some attention. Wafflehead out here from the PC land. Just now entering into the third sector. We'll see, giving himself quite a berth, up into fourth already. How does he hold through here? Do we see full flat? That's flat, flat. Yeah, Wafflehead, full flat through the 16, 17, 18 complex. Well done. Drops to fifth gear for the penultimate corner, and what do we see on the last one? Fourth. Leaves plenty of room on that curb and that curb both. And still manages to squeak in a 134.3 to take him into fifth position. So well done, giving attention to the AlphaTauri, so it's well worth the time. Who else do we have out? We got Suzuki out on the track. Let's see what Suzuki can do. Suzuki's on a warm-up lap, so we'll come back to him a little later. Monkey's diving into the pits. I don't think he'll have enough time to get back out, so that's Monkey's session over. The other AlphaTauri of Jesper's just getting started on a hot lap. Do we have anybody getting ready to set a fresh time? Maybe Ramsey, the Tier 2 upshoot into Tier 1 as a reserve, but I'm certain he'll be full-time next year. Also on a warm-up lap with a 220, or maybe cooldown. No, this is warm-up. He's getting it in gear now. So Ramsey starting a fresh hot lap. We'll come back to that. How about the other, let's see, this is only Tetra and the other Aston Martin. Getting ready to set, nope, no time here either. Is anybody on an actual hot lap, or are we all just warming up? I think we're all warming up. How about Shep? Come on, Shep, no. No hot laps. It's a no hot lap zone. Jesper has been disqualified from this lap. Sorry, has invalidated this lap. It's better, more precise language. If he can make it, he'll have time to put in another lap. So, must have been invalidated early, decided that he wants another. There's a Ferrari behind. Monkey Pill, I believe, tied in the pits, had no other choice. Giannis is just now starting a fresh lap. Anybody setting an active time? Maybe Ray, if I can get down to him quick enough. No, Ray's not there on the track. Who else do we have? That's the end of qualifying, so anybody who comes across the line now is for sure setting a lap. That looks like maybe an... So the Alfa Romeo, the Hammer, improves by 5/10. That'll bring them up into 11th position. Looks like there was a Red Bull of Suzuki that went across into 2nd position. Who else do we have? Let's get on with the Haas. That's Polanyi. He is a little farther behind. Let's go up to Ramsey. Ramsey, what's Ramsey going to do? Ramsey spins across the line and does not get across it. That will not help his time. We see a Mercedes and another Red Bull come across. That's the Red Bull of Ray, who did improve. I think we'll see GK Base coming across the line. Can I get to him quick enough to be on board for it? I don't think so. No, it wasn't GK Base anyway. It was Tetra. Tetra, I believe, improved up to 7th position. Let's see who else we have. That's Polanyi coming across the line now in the Haas. Any improvement? Yes, improvement up to 6th position. Only 2/10 for four positions of improvement. Great to see. Who else do we have out there? I think I see the Ferrari. That is Giannis getting ready to finish a lap time. It's up 2/10, takes 6th gear. Oh, can he hold it in? He decides to be honest. The track wasn't going to invalidate him, but decides to play it honest. So no improvement from Giannis there. Next would be Jesper across the line, who just squeaked in their last lap time. Jesper is not going to improve. No way, Jesper does improve. Ever so slightly, I can't see from the chat. But improves by just a few hundredths. I see another Williams coming across the line, and that should be GK Base, I think, maybe just diving into the pits. Yeah, he's invalidated, doesn't have anything to prove to anyone. I think the Hammer will be coming across the line now, so we'll get on board. Improves by half a second into 13th position, so not bad. And I believe that's just about everybody across the line. Yeah, we're waiting for Rusty and GK to slide into the pits, and we will be, we'll have our grid set. We'll be ready to go to qualifying. So that's GK on pole, Suzuki second, G. Ennis taking the third position, Ramsey fourth, and Wafflehead in fifth position. Polani will start on the third row of the grid, and we'll go to qualifying. Or sorry, we'll go to the race. We will go from qualifying. So GK Base setting the pole, close one with Suzuki. Suzuki less than a tenth of a second behind. I would expect nothing less. Then a little gap to G. Ennis, 3/10 behind. Ramsey and Wafflehead setting very similar times, very close. The whole grid is close. We have many drivers, at least 10, maybe more, within this row here between fourth and how far down? Between 4th and 14th. So Shep, a Tier 2 representative, showing up, coming into 14th. So well done. We'll go through the rest of the grid as we get into the race. Let's see if we can capture any of these. Right. So now we will go on. To the grid. For those of you who are new to the Performance Racing League, we will give our drivers 2 minutes for comfort breaks, for getting water, setting any strategy. So drivers will not be readying up. In the meantime, I can take us through and give us a little update on where we are in the championship. So, let's see here. Our latest winner, GK Base. Is this the updated standings? Yeah, so we've had an update to the standings since Canada. So my apologies for being a little out of date on our standings. But G. Ennis is actually leading the championship at the moment from the 2 Aston Martins, putting his Ferrari on top by 18 points. He's followed closely behind by only Techer, who is the only driver in the top 3 without a win so far. A couple of podiums to his name, but no wins. GK Base follows just behind, and GK Base actually has the most wins in Tier 1, but has a DNF and a 17th position finish from early in the season, so that's holding GK Base back a little now. We have just Ennis, no G, bringing up 4th position here with quite a few podiums to his name, but no wins. Polani riding in 5th now, with a few third place finishes to his name. The Hammer following up. The Hammer's had a few podium results, but otherwise has been finishing a little under 10th. So in the back half of the grid, but those podiums helping lift the Hammer up. And I believe VTech is our lowest driver who does have a win, won the race in Belgium, but I believe has stepped away from the league. So not sure when we will see VTech again for him to take a second win. But that is your rundown from 1st through 7th. Those drivers covered by 141 points. So, with the modified points standings in the Performance Racing League, you can overcome some of those deficits a little more than you could in real life F1. We award a little more points. I don't recall exactly how many is awarded to the winner. My initial guess would be 50, but I might be pulling that from IndyCar. We also award points all the way down the grid, so as long as you finish the race, as long as you are classified, you get points. So that encourages drivers to stay long and helps out for drivers who may finish lower than they would have liked. We're now at the grid, so the drivers will give me some reprieve and give us some action to watch. We've got GK Base and Suzuki on the front row together. GNS and Ramsey will follow them. Wafflehead and Polani will head up the third row. Let's take a look at our pit stop strategy here quickly. So that is mediums onto hards, or medium, and then the hard tire. Next up, Innes and only Tetcher in 7th and 8th. YT and Ray rounding out the top 10. Monkey Pill and Jesper, some, let's say, seniors of Performance Racing League here in the 6th row. The Hammer and AD Shep lining up on row 7. Craig and Mr. Nico lining up here in 15th and 16th. 17th brings us Tar Heels. 18th is Rusty. And Mr. Hex rounds off the back of the grid in 19th position. With an extra little strategy blip there, a soft medium also a possibility in this race. So that'll be our grid. Let's take a closer look at the tires, now that we can get that pulled up. So we see mediums and hards kind of scattered throughout the grid. Looks like from 1st down to 8th, it's primarily hard tires with exceptions at Waffle and Suzuki. So Suzuki on the mediums and GK Base on the hards will be very interesting. Suzuki may be looking to give GK some trouble. Being a reserve, Suzuki's got not much to lose. So we'll see how he does. Other drivers to watch out for: GNS and Ramsey. Ramsey, the Tier 2 substitute, up into Tier 1. Doesn't mean he's slow by any regards. I would not be too surprised to see him do well in this race. Looking at the rest of the grid as they line up, we've got YT running the start of the medium tire runners. Oh, there's a Red Bull that's gone into the wall. Suzuki living up to his name, and that's not where you want to park the car. I assume we'll see him snap up to the grid here soon. But Ray and Monkey also running mediums all the way down. Jesper, Shep, Nico, and Tar Heels, and Rusty also running hard tires towards the back of the grid. But we want to pay attention to the front of the grid as Mr. Innes is slowly getting that car up there. Boom, parked, bang on. Right, so that's 19 cars, almost a full grid. They're on it. There's 5 lights coming on, and they will all go off right now. So GK Base taking off. Let's see if Suzuki can challenge. No, Suzuki got a rough start. GNS with the hard tire actually starting to pull ahead. And Suzuki dropping back. Oh, gets into GNS a little bit, but I think he paid the price for that more than anybody else. A little confusion as we go down the grid. Wafflehead survived up from 5th position now, with Polani close on his tail. My question is, where did Ramsey go? Ramsey's at the back. Ramsey must have had a little spin from that incident early. And now we see GNS and GK Base fighting it out up here on the hard tire. Both of them looking to stay ahead. Wafflehead wanting to take advantage. That's YT spinning down the grid. We're going to stay with the action here at the front. That's GK Base and GNS running nose to tail right now. GNS maybe running with a little less fuel than GK. Going to be looking to close the gap. They won't have DRS, but he will have a slipstream coming down, not using any battery. GK using just a little bit to stay that much more ahead. GNS is not going to throw it down the inside. We've got 27 more laps for him to try to do that. The driver's playing it smart, playing it safe right now. Wafflehead really closing up on the two of them as well. Waffle really going to want to make a move here. He's on the medium tires. He doesn't want to be stuck up behind the two guys on hard tires. The question is Waffle going to make a quick and hasty move that could cost him later on? I'm not too sure. We'll stay on board and watch the action. He wants that inside line. If it becomes the outside line and he's forced off. Wafflehead's got much more pace than GNS right now, but just cannot make it happen. That Ferrari is a wide-body Ferrari, for sure. And he sat back a little bit. Let's see if there's anybody else in a fiery battle. That's Ramsey's going to be looking to come up the grid. Battled it up with the Hammer. I think the Hammer has slipped off the track. Not sure if that has to do with Ramsey or not. We'll get back up with our leaders. Going through the S's section here at Coda. These three all running tight. Suzuki now looking to make up for that little spin. He's already gone up a few positions. He's got Polani in his sights now. Suzuki on the medium tire can make something happen here. Again, just like Wafflehead doesn't want to be stuck up behind guys on hard tires. Wants to use these mediums to their full extent right now. Get up ahead of the grid. And not get sucked farther down. Let's get back with Ray, who on medium tires looked like he was closing up on Only Toucher. Maybe won't get that opportunity just yet. It's going to be tight. All the drivers keeping it quite clean through here. Saw a little stutter up the grid from Mr. Hex. Speaking of, let's take a quick look here. Mr. Hex, starting from the back of the grid, is up to 7th position already. A soldier, excuse me, a soldier of fortune, no doubt. But oh, there's Craig out. That is an accident major. Let's see if we can get on board and see. And there's a slow-moving Red Bull as well. That is the Red Bull of Ray. So I think driver's getting into it, and we now have a safety car. Ray's going to dive into the pits. Not sure if he has any wing damage or just wants fresh tires. Just ahead is boxing the Alpine Tar Heels. Anybody else in the box? I don't think so. There's one sliding in behind. That's Inez. So a little incident there. Unfortunate for those guys. And I don't believe we have a full safety car. I believe it's just a virtual. Because I don't see a yellow dot on the track yet. So all drivers going to be holding to the Delta. There's GNS trying to make a move happen. Running kind of right alongside GK. As long as he's in the Delta, it doesn't really matter. We'll see when the virtual safety car decides to cut him loose. Somebody's going to get screwed here on this corner. And Suzuki picking up a drive-through for speeding under the virtual safety car. That's a classic penalty. ERS is in function and GNS is around GK base. Wafflehead a little further back wants to make this work. If the two ahead continue to scrap, then he will have a good opportunity. Looks like some drivers getting mixed up there in the S's. We're going to stay on board with what we have here. Let's see if we can see Nico John. Looks like he's closing. Ah, Nico gets a little spin. Come on, mate. Pull it in. Have us a little lock up there, so maybe the hard tires cooled down a little too much under the virtual safety car. Let's see Mr. Hex. Oh, Mr. Hex also having a spin, so maybe a suspension problem with the Williams cars. That's two of them out, and here comes Ramsey closing fast on Mr. Hex. Ramsey's going to try to take that inside curb and stay out of the way. Probably receive track limits warning for that, which wouldn't say it's fair. Hex really moving slow through there. Ramsey pulling up on him. Suzuki's jumped into the pits. Does he have any damage? No, he's coming out of the pits now, so we wouldn't know anyway. But Suzuki back onto medium tires? That doesn't seem right. Coming out of... Oh, he's serving a drive-through. My apologies. That's what it was. So Suzuki's serving the drive-through penalty early. Getting it done before the cars get too far separated, so he'll be able to use some DRS to climb back up to the front. Where GNS, GK Base, and Wafflehead have been your most consistent drivers up here, followed by Polani. Monkey Pill also making a solid move up into 5th position. I believe qualified 9th or 11th, somewhere in that range. But has moved up quite a bit on the medium tire. That's what it's for. Meanwhile, the strategy playing perfectly for GK Base and GNS, who are on the hard tire but running away with the race so far. Wafflehead is close on the mediums, but that is a 3-second gap back to Polani on the next hard tire. So the strategy working well for GNS and GK Base. It's exactly what you want. Monkey Pill on the medium tire is going to give Polani some issues, though. Monkey really wants to get around him. He'll have a DRS opportunity on the front straight. Let's see if these drivers can hold it. Yeah, Monkey able to hold it flat through there, so well done to him. He's sitting on about 50% battery. Polani's on 87, so Polani can use that battery to defend on the DRS here. We know Monkey Pill's going to want to make the move up, but I don't think he's got the exit for it, so he won't be moving up here. We'll see if the drivers go through the S's, if anything. We have a yellow in Sector 2. I believe that's just a car who spun off on his own. We'll see through the S's. Those medium tires may really help Monkey get through this section a little quicker. Then Polani has a lot more grip. They come up over the hill there with the tower in the background. Mr. Hex picking up some penalties there, so for track limits. Polani running that beautiful USA helmet. I need that. Wow. Looks lovely. Still running away, keeping ahead of Monkey Pill. Not sure for how long. Monkey Pill still wanting to make the most out of the mediums, but just not able to get it done. Let's see Shep on the hards closing up in the DRS here. He's going to run side by side with Mr. Hex. And oh, so close. Almost clipping each other, but these drivers keeping it clean. Exactly what you would expect in the Performance Racing League. Shep has the pace to get around Mr. Hex. I'm not entirely sure where Mr. Hex struggles are lying. But Mr. Hex has already had one spin through here. He's going to be nervous. Is he going to keep his foot down? He does, and so does Shep. So Shep really looking to make a move. Oh, he's gotten a good run through that corner. Mr. Hex flirting with the IndyCar line. Mr. Hex with the terrible exit. Shep with the DRS and the battery. They're running almost neck and neck. Here comes Shep cruising by in the Alpine. He's got some dirt on the car. They're going to go around. I think Mr. Hex is going to give him space. Does not give space to the McLaren, though. YT wanted to slide through there, and Mr. Hex slammed that door shut. Again, YT seeming to have a little more pace. I'm not sure what is going on with Mr. Hex for him to slip the way he is. But YT needs to slip through here and do it carefully. Car just seems to be all over the place for Mr. Hex. He's having trouble getting it on the reins. YT picking up a penalty as well, playing a little too much with the track limits there. And it looks like GK Base and GNS are running real close. We'll get on board with this action as soon as we can. So I think GNS sliding around GK. These two have been battling it out. They've got the space to do it too, with Wafflehead almost a second behind. Not quite able to keep it flat, not on those hard tires with this much fuel. GNS with a sloppy apex, GK with a sloppy exit. These two drivers going to stay neck and neck. GK taking a lot of curb there. He's in a good spot. He's got the DRS, but I don't know that it's going to help him out too much. You have to sacrifice so much to get through that corner without hitting the driver ahead of you. You don't really get the opportunity to get a good exit through there. So these two will continue to run close. We'll watch from outside the cockpit as they go through the S's, just snaking and sneaking through. Lovely to see those top three running so closely. And they're coming down here. GNS using a little bit of battery, wants to keep the distance from GK. He's going to have ERS. They have about the same battery, get about the same exit. But GK is going to have that DRS. I don't expect GNS is going to challenge it. They will probably switch back and forth. Actually, GK may not be able to make the move here. He's gonna put his car there, make GNS give him some room, but maybe not quite slide in there. Either way, he's compromised GNS now, so GNS is slowed up a little bit coming through. GK Base running really wide through there, wants to get a good exit through here. Oh, is he going to throw it up the inside? No, he's going to sit right in behind GNS. Can't really get on the throttle. You run the risk of a spin here. Car in front's taking all that downforce away from you. Even with the new rules package, you still lose quite a bit. GNS is going to hold on for now. That's Ray in the back, and the Hammer also. Sorry there. Alright, GK Base running close, and now the battle between these two has allowed Wafflehead to close up on the two of them. See, looks like Hex and Suzuki dropping down. Are they coming into the pits? No, maybe just a little loose. We'll stay on board with these guys. Wafflehead has the best view of the battle between GK Base and GNS. They're running close, a little unsteady on the curves from the two ahead, which lets Wafflehead close up even more. He's got the medium tire. Wafflehead needs to make the move now because he's going to have to pit before the two guys ahead of him. Just can't quite get it done. It looks like Giannis got through there just fine, but the others behind having a little bit of a problem. All drivers popping open the DRS now. Giannis now starting to pull away. He's had a few good exits. Really found that time in the S's, and that's what's allowed him to get farther ahead. We'll see if Giannis continues to open the gap or not. Let's drop back right now to Shep on Rusty. Shep going up the inside. Shep bringing a lot of pace to the track today. Almost looks like he belongs in Tier 1 at this point. But that's move done for Shep. Looks like Rusty's going to have to fight off YT now. YT coming up strong behind on the medium tire. Going to want to make a move on these guys. Yeah, YT even having to lift through there a little bit. The downforce just isn't there on the car. Rusty with a great apex, runs a little wide, may get a warning for that one. And YT with a good corner there, pulls right up behind Rusty. Throws over the DRS. But he's not going to get the move done here. We'll see if YT can catch up through the S's here. Takes a good corner there. He's closing up on Rusty all the time. We'll see how they do. We'll use Rusty as a cameraman here. Through the S's, is YT able to close up? He's able to hold station, but not really close up. He's going for it on the inside, which becomes the outside, but it's back to the inside. That's Rusty with a spin. That's YT moving up. I don't think there was any contact between the two, none that I heard. But that's going to drop Rusty back down. Just was not able to coexist with YT through those corners. And that's going to really hurt Rusty's race. He's dropped down. He may even get overtaken by Tar Heels in the other Alpine. And Shep comes out on top of that battle. Let's see who else we have to watch. We've got Monkey Pill trying to close the gap on Polini. Still, Polani? It's an A. Monkey Pill is still using the hard tire, or the medium tire. Oh, he tried to keep it flat and it just didn't play out for him. Those medium tires just don't have the grip they did at the beginning. There goes through the Aston Martin with Tetcher, and can Monkey get it on track before Jesper comes through? It's going to be close. Jesper sees him, but I don't think Jesper's going to be able to get him, at least not within these two corners. Wafflehead is within the DRS of GK, but is really starting to fall back. Not sure on the medium tires if we're getting close to the fall-off point. Monkey was able to hold them. Well, no, Monkey wasn't able to hold them, and now it seems like Wafflehead's struggling a little bit. They may be on about the same pace now as the hard tires. The only differentiator would be Tar Heels here on the mediums, and we'll see if Rusty can close up on the hards. Rusty's still running on some fairly warm tires after the spin. But they may be just right in the zone, just enough for Rusty to close up. Rusty tiptoeing over the line just a little bit there. Let's get back with GNS, who's on the soft tires, running them for the 7th lap. Trying to pull it out on Nico. Nico with the medium tires slides back. Sorry, that is Mr. Hex on the medium tire, not Nico. But NS making the soft tires work, running already 7 laps on them and still getting overtakes, so well done here. But the Hammer, Suzuki, and the Hammer all running tight. We got some action back in the pack. There goes Suzuki screaming up the outside. Can he hold it? It does become the inside. The Hammer giving us a great point of view here. Suzuki makes it work, gets a little loose though. That gives Mr. Hex an opportunity to slide in. All these guys fighting just to not be last. Of course, I think Ray has that under wraps, but a safety car can change it all. Mr. Heck's able to hold flat through there. So now Speedy Suzuki on the hard tires, probably going to catch up on Ennis here on the soft. So those softs starting to fall away. You would think they would by now. That's Mr. Hex diving into the pits. He's had enough of those tires, which clears the way for the Hammer to get up a little bit. Not seeing any other major battles except for maybe Shep on the hard tire pulling up on YT on the mediums. So lap 10, definitely the point where the mediums are starting to fall away. Give way to the hard tire. We're seeing medium tire drivers either lose grip or just fall away from the guys on hards. So Shep right here is going to show us he's got the DRS. Shep is going to show us exactly what the hard tires are capable of at this point and maybe what the mediums are not capable of. See a yellow that is back on the coming out onto the main straight. Looks like maybe Nico has spun round and round. But we'll stay on board here with Shep, who wasn't really able to close. Now Shep able to stay flat. Now has to lift a little bit through there. That's Wafflehead now, the first of the medium tire runners to bring it in. I think we lost track of him. Monkey Pill also on the mediums, but staying out. YT gonna stay out on the mediums as well, but having seen Wafflehead come in and put on hard tires, they're probably gonna start thinking to come in themselves. So we'll keep an eye on Wafflehead, pitted out of third position, maybe just a couple seconds behind GK. We'll say 2 for the ease. And we'll keep an eye on that gap and see just how much the gap is when it comes time for GK to pit. There's Inez coming in for the medium tire now, having to running the softs for a little while. Not sure if Inez is going to decide on running the mediums for the rest of the race, or if he'll go on to another set later. We'll see how that strategy pans out as we go along. Shep right now on the hard tire, still pushing on YT. He's got the DRS, just cannot quite get there. So the medium tire still with a little bit of spunk in it, but Shep closing up quickly on YT. You can see the differentiation here between Wafflehead and Jesper. Jesper coming through this complex, certainly with a big lift. Waffle with a little bit of a lift, not quite as much as Jesper, so that's the difference in 11 laps on the hard tire. Looks like Monkey has decided to stay out. Is YT going to opt to stay out? They do. They both stay out on the medium tire, which is all good for Shep, because that's even longer that Shep can hang on in DRS and try to catch the drivers ahead. Shep and YT currently the closest battle that we have out on the track. We do see Wafflehead starting to close up though on Jesper. Will we get AlphaTauri team orders? I'm not sure. We'll jump with them when they get a little closer. Actually, they will be coming down the straight here, so we'll see. I doubt team orders with that kind of a gap. Jesper would have to give up a lot of time to give that up. And I'm sure has no problem helping his teammate here. He's going to close out. Jesper actually going to hold the inside, let his teammate cruise by. Look at the sportsmanship there. Slots in just behind Wafflehead, so well done to the AlphaTauri boys. Meanwhile, Shep's closed up on YT, who kind of lets him go. YT doesn't want this battle to go south for him. Although he is keeping it close, he's not just giving it up for free. He squeezes Shep on the inside there and holds it. So now these two are going to come through. YT holding it stable. Shep is too. So Monkey Pill now coming into the box. YT, after all that battling for a position, also is going to just give it away in the box. And Wafflehead on the fresh hard tires and getting a little help from the teammate has now set the best lap of the race with a 1:38. So that leaves Tar Heels still on the medium tire, and I think we'll see Tar Heels come into pit eventually. It's overtaken his other medium tire runners, or starters on the medium tire. Where else do we have a battle? It looks like Mr. Hex closing up on Inez just ahead. Inez on the medium tire now. Mr. Hex favoring the IndyCar line. We'll see if he picks up. There's a warning and a little loose. He wants to be on throttle, but he just can't get there. Mr. Hex has slid back. We'll watch Inez go after his teammate Inez with the fastest time by 0.6. Really closing up here. We'll see Inez run down Nico John. Less than half a second. Inez on the fresh softs, Nico on the old hards. I'd assume we'll see Inez make up a good amount of time here through the S's, and he does. So I think we'll see Inez make the move here on the DRS straight, where Suzuki is pulling past Rusty Oil Can as we speak. It's close, but Suzuki holds that inside line and backs off Rusty. So here they come now. We'll see if G-Innes can, or sorry, not G-Innes, just regular Innes, can hang on through here. Nico, I would expect to see that crafty devil move to the inside. He doesn't, though. He's just going to let Inez go on by. Decides the fight not worth fighting. He says, I'll catch you up, Inez, when you pit to get off those mediums here in 10 to 15 laps. Well, no, he wouldn't hit in 15 laps. The race would be over. But maybe a little towards the end. I don't know. He needs these mediums to go about 15 laps. Inez may be able to pull it off, but I don't know what his pace is going to look like at the end. Speaking of pace, let's jump back up to our leaders. GK Base has closed up on Inez a little bit. Does not have the DRS this time round, but may have it as we go through next time. Wafflehead really starting to close up to these guys. Don't know when the pit stop is going to be expected. I would say in maybe 3 to 4 laps, not because the hard tires are falling off, but because you're cutting into when you could be going faster on the mediums. So we'll see. There's a yellow, looks like maybe a Haas, or not a Haas, a Williams has spun round there off the first turn. And there's G-Innes going to dive into the pits now, led GK by just about 9/10. So we'll see how that develops as they go on. We'll see what the crossover looks like. Will Polani follow G-Innes into the pits? I don't know. We'll see where does Wafflehead come out in respect to G-Innes. Wafflehead closing up. It's going to be close when he comes through. Tetcher's pitting off the off the hard tire. Going to go for mediums as well. Wafflehead's overtaken Tetcher. How will Wafflehead fare against... We're going to drop back actually to watch that. Wafflehead about 4/10 behind G-Innes, so looks like the undercut did not quite pay off. But Wafflehead still has time to make his move now to get caught up. These tires will be wearing down, the mediums will be wearing down at about the same time, so we'll see. I think Wafflehead can't lean on the tires too much. It's going to have to be pure driving skill if he wants to get up to, I think, second or third. I think Wafflehead looks good for a podium at the moment, though. Let's see Ramsey closing up on Shep, a T2 battle that's come to Tier 1. Both drivers fast, both drivers on old hards. See a few drivers, I think those are spins. That's Monkey off the track. And the McLaren of YT off the track. Gets through there, that's good. That can be a hard section to get back on. Monkey's still struggling a little bit. Has hot tires after the spins. Let's get back to our battle here with Ramsey and Shep. That's GK Base coming into the pits. So maybe we'll jump up to these guys real quick and just see. So the gap was about 1 second when they pit. That's Polani going into the pits as well. There's a Red Bull spinning off to the side, and that is out for Ray. The Red Bull of Ray will be done for the day. Look at all the rhyming here. And G-Innes is pulled out over a second on GK base, so the pit stop definitely working. The undercut on similar compounds played out well. We see some other shuffling, some more drivers coming into the pits. Seeing how well the fresh mediums worked, the undercut has some power here. GN is setting a sector best. First sector all session best. Race best in the first sector. How many other ways can I phrase that? Anywho, so GNS really pulling it out against GK Base, has a 2-second gap now. Let's slide back and watch Tetcher, who is looking to catch up on Ramsey. Ramsey on old hards, and Ramsey's fast, but he can't necessarily outrun a tire advantage. We've got flags up in Sector 3, not sure who that is. Tetcher's going to have the DRS, gets a good exit. He's going to cruise on past Ramsey. Ramsey will have the opportunity to sit in the DRS and may do so for a little while, but I expect to see Ramsey come in and swap to the medium tire before too long. Shep on fresh mediums looking to make a move on the Hammer, who's on the old hards. So now we're starting to see the guys who started on hard tires starting to really make those moves now. Hard tires definitely not the place to be at this point in the race, unless you're Wafflehead. Wafflehead not having much of a choice. Let's scoot back to YT and just watch from his perspective. He's got somewhat fresh hards. The only other driver who looks like they will finish the race on hards. There goes the Hammer, who's sliding into the pit lane. YT wants to throw it up. Shep's inside. They leave each other some room. That'll be Shep moving on. So that's Ramsey just now coming out of the pit lane, has fresh mediums. And we see Wafflehead now that all the pits have cycled through, still holding strong on the podium, but has quite a battle to climb to get into the top 2, up to the second step, and I just don't think it's going to happen for him here. That's the Hammer coming out of the pits. Probably one of the last pit stops. Not sure if we'll see one from Suzuki or not. That's Rusty, the teammate, up ahead, going a little wide. Not sure who else we have that would give us a good review. Maybe Shep and Ramsey battling it out. Both have fresh tires now. Shep looking for the outside on Ramsey. A preview of things to come in the Tier 2 race for certain. Both of these guys always at the front end of that grid. Always looking sharp. We got about 10 laps remaining here for the drivers to keep duking it out. YT in the background, maybe on the hard tires, but he says, don't forget about me, guys. He's coming through, taking every bit of the IndyCar line. Gonna drop a few gears and come up the inside here. So right now, Shep on Ramsey is going to be our closest battle. Let's keep an eye on. Major frame rate drop through that camera. Much better here. We'll watch from Ramsey's point of view here. Camera following him around. See just race cars going through the S's, and there's not really a much more beautiful sight than that. Cars coming over the hill. Just a beautiful track for race car photography. You get all kinds of angles, you get all kinds of cool, interesting shots. So, just an all-around great track, if I do say so myself. Shep's still falling off a little bit from Ramsey, but not really able to close up. Looks like the Hammer may be closing on his teammate. We'll scoot back and take a quick look at these guys. That's actually Monkey. Scoot up and see what the Hammer can do on Rusty. It's closing with that DRS. Closing quickly. I don't think the move is on yet, but Rusty's the kind of guy they would probably put team orders into place if he really thought the Hammer was faster, but they're on similar tires, so Rusty's going to want to stay ahead here. So we'll see, are they able to hold it flat through here? No, not quite. Car just doesn't have it in it. But the Hammer closing up that gap to his teammate all the time. Rusty running a little wide on exit there. The Hammer snipping that apex, well done there. Hits the battery and the DRS. Wants to get around his teammate, feels like he's faster, but just cannot quite get it done. Driver's taking two very separate lines through the first corner. We'll see which one pays off. Right now it looks like the Hammers might, as he's closing on Rusty. He suffers from quite a bit of understeer through there, so not quite going to be on it. Hits the battery, goes under the crypto.com web sign. And we'll be back on the straight. We'll come back to them, and no, we won't. We're going to stay right here. Overtakes the captain quicker than I thought. The Hammer cruising by Rusty. Rusty probably letting him go to some degree. So with that move done, let's jump up to Tar Heels, who's now closed up on YT. Who's fallen off of Shep, who's fallen off Ramsey. And we have a spin maybe up ahead. Some yellows here on the track. I think just a driver going into the pit lane. That's Jesper, who's picked up the penalty for speeding into the pits. Not ideal, not what he would have wanted. And he's had to retire from the session, so it will be Jesper out of the race. Tar Heels throwing up the inside of YT there. Getting it done, has the medium tire. They're a lot stickier than those hards. Now Tar Heels has a 3.5 second gap up to Shep. Shep has I would assume 3 seconds penalty. Let's take a look. Yeah, Shep has 3 seconds. So if Tar Heels can get within that, he can effectively overtake his teammate. We'll see how they run. YT was close behind, but has kind of fallen away. Really, the next up that would be considered close is GK Base. Working to close up on GNS, but still has a ways to go. 1.3 seconds. Battery's kind of low. He's not quite saving. It is higher than GNS, though. Do we believe that Shep slowed down for Tar Heels? No, not a chance. Not a chance. Shep may be reserving, but he still carries a lot of pride. I think he's going to want to be finishing as best he can. I don't think he'll complain too much if Tar Heels gets within that 3 second gap, but I don't see Shep slowing down, no. Especially considering Tar Heels is not really in the title fight. He's sitting down in 11th position, about 170 points off the lead. So no, I don't see Shep slowing up for Tar Heels. Anywho, it looks like Tar Heels is going to have other issues though, and they are in the form of a freak of YouTube. And YT Freak going to be closing up here. Tar Heels on the medium tires must have gotten kind of loose. He's dropped quite a bit back off of Shep. And YT's closed up on him. YT carrying 6 seconds of penalties though, so not going to be too much of a threat to Tar Heels other than just an on-track distraction. Looks like with 5 laps left, GK Base is now closed up on GNS, is within the DRS now. Didn't have it for that run up the front straight. But we'll see how they do through the S's here. Is that 1 lap of tire wear going to make a difference between the two? My initial thoughts would be no, but we'll see how they go. I don't think the drivers are going to be pushing the cliff too much. These two currently running away with it. Wafflehead 13.9 seconds behind. He's not going to be able to contend. Looks like GK Base had a lot of oversteer there. A little slidey in the rear end, but holds on to it. He's going to have good DRS now. Is he going to go for the move? Do you go for the move at this point? Or do you hold back and do you wait later on? You really don't want to be DRS trading right now. That's a McLaren slow on the front straight. And that's YT retiring, I think, in the pit lane. Oh, and there's a safety car out. Was YT in the pit lane? No, he wasn't in the pit lane. He spun off to the side. So a safety car has come out with 5 laps to go. This really throws a wrench in things. We're going to see drivers pouring into the pit lane onto the soft tire. If you're not on the soft tire here in the last little bit, you're going to be passed by everybody else who is. So a crazy spin from YT. We'll see these guys slide onto the soft tire. There's Monkey Pill from the back. Already has made the move. Well done to him. He'll be able to catch up and get some heat into those things early. G Ennis has chosen not to pit, but GK Base has. So G Ennis is going to be regretting that move, thinking I'll stay out and keep the track position, but no, I think GK Base is going to be able to do it. The game usually will cut us loose from a safety car. Wafflehead also going to slide in for the softs, so maybe we'll be able to move up to second position. GK Base on fresh mediums, doesn't have any soft tires in the reserve. What is Wafflehead going to put on? And we also see only Tetcher sliding through, not going into the pits. Polani not going into the pits. That's Wafflehead onto the soft tire. That's a solid move, I think. I think we'll see him move up quite a bit here. Suzuki's gone in for the soft. Suzuki's back up in 6th position. We could see Suzuki on the podium. The game will typically cut you loose with two green flag laps. That's plenty of time to get something done. Suzuki serving a penalty or with a bad launch? No, just a little bit of lag. Ramsey's come into the pits. Shep coming into the pits for the soft tire. Tar Heels is going to follow just behind him. Tar Heels will likely end up serving that. No, it's 3 second. You only serve 5s. A lot of brake dust coming out of the car there. Tar Heels been working the brakes, and he's out on his way. So all the drivers coming in for soft tires now throughout the back of the grid. Monkey Pill and Nico having already done so. So this just leaves the top 4 on medium tires, and with penalties carried by G Ennis and only Tetcher, our podium could very well be GK Base, probably not Polani, on the older mediums. I just don't think that's going to work. So I think we could see GK Base, Wafflehead, and Suzuki on the podium here today. It's going to come down to a 2-lap shootout here at the end, so incredibly interesting. Was that Polani making contact there with Tetcher? I don't see any warnings for safety car contact. The drivers want to really be careful. You can't afford any penalties at this point in the race. Drivers seeming to keep it mostly clean on penalties here anyway. The safety car is going to take them around one more time. But the pack's probably going to close up during this lap, so after this, we'll be green flag racing the rest of the way home unless we have another safety car. Rusty going on to the fresh mediums, doesn't have another pair of softs, it looks like. Right, so other than the top 4 plus Rusty, everybody is on fresh softs. And we'll be bunched up after the safety car. I don't see us staying separated. But with it looks like, do I not have a gap up? I do have the gap. Looks like Nico and Monkey isn't, but Nico's stuffed up behind the safety car line, so Nico may not get a chance to run free. This game is too broken to allow him to run past them all, unfortunately. So that is Nico doomed to 14th position. Nothing he can do about it at this point. So really unfortunate for him. But other than Nico, it's pretty much everybody's game now. Soft tires. Fresh softs all the way up the grid with the exception of Rusty, who's on fresh mediums. Must not have had any softs to put on. And the top 4 sticking on the mediums. Not sure that it's the best move. GK Base can probably hold the lead with the fresh mediums. I think we'll see GK probably overtake G Ennis and stay up front. G Ennis can make that Ferrari wide, but I don't think he can make it 8 laps worth wide. GK Base going to be on those fresh soft mediums. Meanwhile, the others around him, also GK not carrying any penalties. I think Polani's going to get swallowed by the soft tire runners here of Wafflehead and Suzuki. So it'll be interesting when we go green. I saw green lights. It was probably trying to lie to Nico and tell him he could overtake, which the game doesn't allow. It says it allows the pass, but you go for the pass and it's not granted to you anymore. So I expect we'll see the safety car come in on this lap. We haven't gotten the message. Don't know if we will. So if we go around bunched up like this yet again, it's going to be really bad news for the medium tire runners as their medium tires have gotten cool. Suzuki paying a visit to the back of the pack. Not sure what's going on there. Suzuki maybe struggling to get that car around. Doesn't want to burn out the softs too much. Whoa, little spinner. How hot are those tires, Suzuki? Let us see the steering wheel. Oh, they're not even that warm. He's just having some struggles here. But he's going to catch up to the pack on very hot tires, so don't count him out yet. He can still make up quite a few positions. So now we'll get the safety car tour around the Circuit of Americas. Located in Austin, Texas. I have not visited Austin. I have been to Houston, which is not too far away from Austin, but it's not quite the same place. They're separated by a few hours drive. Which, depending on, Polani and Tetra have had a collision. Doesn't look that severe, because of the, no damage there on Polani, but a collision there, that will result in some extra penalties for Polani. PRL is very strict about making contact under the safety car. It's just unnecessary, no need for it. So, he may get lucky and stand with whatever the game's given him, which will be 5 seconds, but really have to be careful under these safety cars. You really don't want to run nose to tail with somebody. All it takes is for them to brake when you're not expecting it, and you received a penalty that puts you back. So I think that solidifies the podium with GK Base, Wafflehead, and now Ramsey after Suzuki's had a little spinneroonie. Safety car will be coming in this lap, so the watch will be on GK Base and GNS. If we just imagine the penalty isn't there. I'll watch from the helicopter shot. It's a lovely shot right there. Car's getting warm. GNS will be able to go whenever he wants. Safety car's speeding away ahead. I imagine, I don't know if GNS is going to hold it to the line or not. Is he going to go here? If he doesn't go here, is he going to go off the apex? It doesn't look like it. No, GNS is going to hold him up as much as he can. Wise move, I think. And now he's going to go. Yeah, I think it was wise to hold up as much as he could. GK Base looks like he's going to go for it, though. It's all out now. We see some drivers here. Oh, they're so tight, they're packed up. What a mess, what a cluster. I know the leaders are battling ahead, but we're going to stay on board for this. We've got some high action here. All the drivers getting a mess off that safety car start. Didn't expect GNS to bunch them all up, but no fault to GNS. He held the same pace the whole way around. So now Ramsey being beaten and battered up has slipped back a little bit, and that's promoted Tar Heels up into the provisional podium positions. We'll see now. Polani, the last of the drivers that I would expect to be holding on. But right now the medium tire runner's doing just fine. Not having any issues. It's the penalties that are really going to do him in at this point. They'll have one lap to go once they complete this. We'll see how they finish. There's Wafflehead getting the move done on Polani. Dario's also getting the move done on Polani. Oh, and he spun him. That's both Haas's taken out. That's Ramsey out. They will drop down the grid rapidly. Unfortunate for those guys. Just a little caught out by Tario's. I'm not really sure who was at fault there. I'm sure we'll see it. Especially from Polani. Not going to be too happy about that. That will impact his championship. We're on the final lap here. GK Base closing up on GNS. Doesn't really need to make the overtake on track, assuming penalties stand. But as a racer, I'm sure he won't be satisfied with that. He will want to get the move done. Both drivers holding it through. GK Base still a little loose through that corner. It's the second time we've seen him slide through there. That's Suzuki out. He's had a little spin at the top, put it into the wall. Won't see any safety cars. We'll just continue on and finish off the race here. Wafflehead and Tario's running up close behind. Wafflehead will be promoted. They'll both be promoted over Tetcher, assuming penalties stand. So now it's just a matter of what can get done on the track. I'm going to scoot back and watch Monkey Pill since that order is already decided. We're going to watch Monkey Pill, all the Monkey Pill's positions settled too, with the penalties coming into play. So we'll just watch, Tario's and Wafflehead here. The only two really battling for position. GNS will cross the line first, but GK Base will be your winner today. Coming home clean with no penalties. GNS has some penalties, but will hold on to the podium. Holding on to it tightly. And Wafflehead, two cars kind of getting into it after the race. With everybody bunched up, the race will come to an end quickly. So Wafflehead picking up a great podium up from 6th position. Who is our driver of the day? It's gotta be the Hammer. And now AlphaTauri. So fastest in qualifying, fastest in the race. GK Base unbeatable at the Circuit of the Americas. We'll be happy to show up and show off so well done to our podium drivers. That would be GK Base, GNS, and Wafflehead. Following up with a good run, Tar Heels making 4th position, so a good increase on his standings in the championship. The Hammer also closing up close behind. Both Tar Heels and the Hammer, I think, driver of the day here. Look at the position increase from 17th on the grid up to 4th. The Hammer moving up from 13th to 5th. We then see Tetcher, Monkey Pill, Rusty, Shep, and Inez filling out the top 10. We had a few guys from the top fall, especially towards the end there. Ramsey, Polani, Suzuki, and Nico John being the last to finish. We'll capture all these as I'm sure the stewards will need them. And that has been the Tier 1 race at the Circuit of the Americas. My name is TAC Delta. Tier 2 is coming up next. I forget who we have that's going to be hosting it for you, but I'm sure we'll have someone lovely in the box. We'll have Tar Heels. So, Tar Heels, I give you full permission to talk over the Tier 2 race and talk about your march up from 17th into 4th. So, while he gives us that, I will go get into preparation mode for my own race. This is Tier 1 in the Performance Racing League. I am Tag Delta. Thank you for tagging along, and I will see you later.